Hit that intro.
I don't have an intro. This is it. What do you mean hit the intro? You know this. You know how we just roll into it. We're already recording. This is it. This is the podcast.
So the reason by Hoobastank was in the Godzilla Final Wars movie, Spider-Man Training Day, the movie, a bunch of TV shows, but I was looking specifically for movies. But the reason was in movies.
Okay, I'm not. Here's the deal. We're starting this. This podcast is already recording. People are listening to this, wondering why are we talking about Hoobastank's The Reason? If you want snippet, we've just been babbling for like 5 minutes about completely different stuff. Maybe we'll throw that up on our YouTube channel as just like an explanation to why we started Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, talking about Hoobastank's The Reason. There's no correlation, but in the incoherent ramblings that we were just doing before we started recording, that came up. So now we know it was in movies. You've tied it together, though.
You wouldn't say that Elizabeth Swann was Will Turner's reason?
Dang. Those are bars right there. I think that's what kids are saying. Those are bars.
Let's go.
All right. So we're obviously back. You're obviously listening to this. This is in your ear holes or your eye holes or whichever hole. I don't know which one it is. And I mean, ideally your ears at the very least. Most podcasts are ingested that way. Why am I still talking about holes?
I don't know, but
we should do Holes, the movie.
We should, but there's also a small sect of people who don't use their ear holes, and they're probably watching this with their eye holes and reading.
Yes, so it's in your retinas or it's in your ear hole. We are back, and we're so happy to be back because we've been talking about this. And Pirates of the Caribbean, this is my movie. I chose this one, and it's because honestly, I keep seeing rumblings of maybe coming back. Maybe they're going to do some other stuff, but I keep going back to this, and I realize when I searched it, there are so many of these I didn't even realize happened, and I feel bad because I genuinely enjoyed this movie, and I couldn't tell you what exactly happened in the second and third one, but I remember enjoying those too.
Yeah.
What are the other ones about? Maybe we'll get to that later. I don't know.
Yeah. Alyssa and my wife had to talk about that, and when we get to it later on, we can discuss that. But
Please do explain. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I remember the first one, and then 2 and 3 are in a blender where I can like tell you moments, but I couldn't tell you what movie they came from. And then 4 and 5, I definitely did not see.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I feel like one of them didn't have Johnny Depp.
I said that same thing. So I said that, and I'm pretty sure Alyssa told me that Johnny Depp was in it. It turns out it was Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley who were not in the movie. I thought Johnny Depp didn't make one. It turns out it was the other way around. Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom both weren't in 4, and then in 5 they had brief cameos or something like that.
Okay, so
I had the same thought though.
Came out in 2003, 13 years old. You know, that's the time frame that I was. Keira Knightley, absolutely gorgeous human being, bro. I was like, what? And going back, I'm like, I remember just oogling as a 13-year-old would. Just actually, to be honest, all the people in this, not all, I won't say all. Barbosa was horrifying, but there's some beautiful people in this movie. All right, I think
Zoe Saldana just popped up out of nowhere. Like
legit, a note I wrote down when I saw her. I was like, "Hey, what's she doing in here?" I don't remember
exactly. This was before she was an A-lister because they just put her in as if it was no big deal, and I couldn't believe that.
Absolutely. So yeah, Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, Johnny Depp, beautiful human beings. Maybe I don't know them personally, so I'm not going to say that their personalities are that, but I will say. Easy to look at people. All right. You couldn't have picked some better people for this film. And honestly, for the time, whatever the time frame is, I don't know what the time frame is during this. I mean, I would say hundreds of years ago, 100 or so, a little more than 100. What time? I don't know what the time phrase.
400 years?
400 years.
Yeah.
What is their skincare routine back then?
I'm just saying we're actually more because I said 400 years thinking we're in 2020, so that'd put them in like 1620. You got to figure Columbus sailed the ocean in 1490s, so 15 to 1600s.
Now I'm looking it up because
that was the second nerdiest moment I've ever had.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, say it again. Give me the time frame that you said.
15 to 1600s.
All right, so they're saying that it was set in the Caribbean in the golden age of piracy, which was roughly 1650 to 1726.
God, I feel that I can't believe I just tried to break that down like that.
That
That was
was
crazy.
honestly, I'm proud of you. It was awesome. It sounded, there was a lot of numbers. So like if you watch this back, I definitely checked out, but I am proud of you for getting there, for saying all that. But no, this is fascinating to me that I never really, I was never really was like a pirate kid or a pirate guy. I wasn't like super fascinated by them, but I do
Mhm.
remember watching this movie when I was a kid and being like, this felt fun and awesome. Like
Oh,
it just
yes.
felt grand. And I
It
do
did.
not remember this movie being 2.5 hours long,
No,
but
no.
it was a good time and a fun ride, and it still was when we watched it back this time.
I talked to you before we got to the podcast, and you're like, "Yeah, I finished the movie," and you said something about 2 hours, and I was like, "Did you watch the right one?" Because
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that it was 220 or something crazy like that?
It was damn near 2:30. Yeah, it was pretty much 2:30. But
That is not an intro Disney movie. That does not make any sense. That's crazy.
yeah, there
What
were
did they
times
even
in this
fill the
movie
time with?
when I was watching it, there were times I was like, "Oh, this is the end of the movie," and then I
No.
forgot. And you're like you said, that's where the segmentation of these films
Yeah,
is. You're like, "I remember this, but what the hell movie was it? Was it the first one, second one? I don't even know." Because it
yeah,
does feel like there were so many different broken parts that, like, I mean, it flowed together well.
it did.
But if you'd have told me a week ago before I watched this movie again, what scene where they were in the cave and they came out, like, I would be
Yeah.
like, "I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. That's something else."
I feel like there was a bunch of scenes they could have cut out to shorten the time, but those scenes also happen to be scenes where they tucked in comedy. So moments where the movie felt slow, they were also making you laugh and doing silly things. Like some of Jack's time in the cage trying to get the dog, that could have been cut out. Some of the times where they're like in the water, like going to the cave, they had funny dialogue. So it was like, yeah, we could have made the movie shorter, but they were also making it flow and making it feel funny and
Yeah,
stuff.
I do respect them for that. And like, I had no idea where this concept came from. I had never been on this ride from Disneyland or World. I don't even know
Mhm.
anything about this ride, other than the stuff that I've heard after the fact, where, like, I guess at one point there was like actual human cadavers like on display in the ride.
What?
Did you hear that? Maybe I'm
No,
just spewing stuff, but it was
no,
in my
never heard that.
research. It was like the ride at Disney at one point actually had like real dead bodies in there, and they had
Disney
since
World.
come. Yes. Look, you can call me crazy. You want to take a moment, you can
Alright,
look it up. But I'm just saying,
no,
it was a thing that I saw on the internet, and I have to believe it because of the
that
internet.
that's insane. And also, I did go on the ride after the movie came out. I didn't know it was a movie based on a ride because that premise is absurd. Like, they were just throwing darts at a wall, and they're like, "Oh, let's pick that ride and make a franchise out of it."
And honestly, it worked. I mean, it
Yes.
was a subtle thing that worked. I can't even really think of like any other pirate movies that were, you know, on the radar of anybody. You know,
Yeah.
at least growing up for me. And yeah, like you said, going through a ride, like I couldn't imagine It's a Small World getting a franchise. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Y I could see a world in about 10 years
A small one.
where yes, where our children, like our 1 to 2-year-olds are watching It's a Small World, and it's just, like, random songs about getting together and inclusion.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like Disney is gonna just the bucket's gonna get sucked dry. As
I
I don't know if sucking buckets is a term that anybody says, but
no,
yeah,
but
they're gonna own the world here pretty soon if they don't already. And yeah, they're gonna. I would imagine they would exhaust all IPs available to them. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it probably could come down the line, but kudos to them for early 2000s taking this and actually turning it into something. And Johnny Depp couldn't have been better, I
dude,
don't think,
he
for this
was
guy.
he was I mean, you look at his list of movies before this and you're like, of course he would play a pirate. But just like everything else, he absolutely killed it. And I'm surprised that this stuck harder than all of his other movies, other roles in general. Like, sure, he was Edward Scissorhands. Sure, he was Crybaby. He was a bunch of stuff. But then you see this and you're like, oh, he's just a pirate for the rest of his life now.
He's got to
Like
be.
that's just it. Yeah.
I love that he was like, so another tip thing on the ride. I don't know what I was reading when I saw this, but all this ride stuff. There was a time when this movie, it was either this movie or one of the other sequels, but there was like prank videos where people who were going through the ride,
Yeah.
it was actually Johnny Depp
Oh
sitting in the
my, that's
chair.
amazing. That's
So he was
amazing.
just like there being Captain Jack Sparrow in the ride. Could you imagine? That'd be
That's so
insane.
much fun.
Yeah.
One thing that got me, I'm looking at his costume, and I feel like going into this movie, they were just like, "What does a pirate look like?" I don't know, and I feel like they just kept throwing stuff at him and throwing stuff because you look at him and you're like, "All right, he's got like dreaded hair or like knotty hair, but then he has three beard strands, and then he has like jingly stuff all over the place, and then his clothes are half on." And you're like, no one had this one vision. Like they probably just started chucking stuff, and Johnny being Johnny just made it work because nothing felt like it made sense on him at
It was
all.
really just the way he moved in that.
Yeah.
I think that really sold
Yes.
all the jangly pieces. Like, it's just
Y-
like the way he ran, the way he just the swag was out of control there for him, and he was feeling it. He was loving it. And I think that that's definitely what played into people loving this character, is that he was just such a weird, just the way his mannerisms were strange, but
mhm.
also the whole movie, you knew he was the main character. It's freaking Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
But obviously there was another story going on, with Elizabeth and Will.
Mhm.
But every time he was on the screen, you're like, what the hell is he gonna do? Like, he's just
Yeah,
always
he
doing
was
something wild.
unpredictable.
Yeah, and
It's
that
it
was awesome.
was it was great that he was unpredictable to them, but he was unpredictable to us too,
Yeah.
which is back then at least did not feel that common. Like that was awesome to feel and see. It was
Yeah, I definitely think that played into this kind of being, I'm not even gonna say a cult classic. Like, I mean, it's like, it is like a legitimately good, like,
yes.
blockbuster film when they came out and did this. And it's still to this day is holding up. I think it's on IMDb's like top 250. Like, it might even still be like one of the top 250 movies on their list, like, all time, which is crazy. That would spawn from a ride. But yeah, we did talk about the spin-offs, and we're not going to get too much into it, but I do kind of want to touch on those. And not spin-offs, but sequels. After watching this one again, I'm back in, bro. Like, I feel like I deserve, I owe it to the franchise to catch up and be like, what the hell did I miss? Like, I'm binge watching weirder stuff than this. This has been around for over 20 years. How
But
have
now
I
you have to
not caught
wait.
up?
You have to wait like 2 years to watch the second one though.
No, I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
I
you got
can't
to.
do it. No,
You
I've
have
seen it,
to.
but here's the thing. I think I've seen the second one. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that's the Bootstrap Bill, Will Turner. Like, they actually see him and he's all like,
They do. Dave
yeah, I
Dead
think
Man's
that's the,
Chest. Yes,
I
it
think that's,
is.
yeah. I think I've seen that one. I could not tell you what happened in the third one, but I'm pretty sure I've touched some of it somewhere. Like, I'm probably, when I do watch that one, I'm gonna be like, oh,
Mhm.
I remember this. I think
Mhm.
the ones after that, if there's a 4 and a 5, I think not once have I seen anything. I couldn't even tell
Yeah.
you what was in the preview, on the poster.
Mhm.
No clue.
This is just sticking in my mind now. I have this morbid idea of like watching movies like this with my son, but then forcing him to wait a year to watch the second one like we had to. Like
Yeah.
instead of you're like, Dad, let's watch the second. I'm like, nope, you can't. You gotta wait a year.
You gotta do that. Now you gotta do it with like every show then. Every single one. He's like,
You gotta wait a week.
back
Oh,
in my
season
day,
finale, you gotta wait 6 months.
you
Sorry.
wanted to watch Bluey? I don't think so. Gotta wait till next Saturday morning to
Mid
watch
season
your
break,
cartoons.
you gotta wait 3 months. Sorry, kid.
You got to earn it. No, no, that's a funny idea, but I would nowadays, my goodness, the attention spans, they would be like, I'd actually just rather not. Like, they just
Yeah.
forget about it. They just, no, thanks. That's not going to happen. Any notes? I mean, obviously, we could go through this movie. This movie's been around a long time. Anybody who's listening to this, I can't imagine hasn't seen this.
Yeah.
Any notes from this that stand out before we kind of get into the draft? But I do want to get into like the nuances of this movie and some of the
Yeah.
weirder things. Like,
We
obviously we have gripes, but there's some strange things.
Oh, I did have a gripe. I have to check my notes. But one thing that was funny to me was that we already spoke about her, one of the most beautiful women in 2003. But how small must that corset have been for the thinnest woman I have ever seen, Keira Knightley, to still not be able to breathe?
Right.
Like like I don't understand.
I understand that. I get the point where she probably was also like having anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, it was that
Mhm.
paired with it. So she was probably trying to breathe deeper than you normally would in like a more relaxed setting. But
Yeah.
yeah, the idea of a corset, especially
On
way
her, why
awful, horrible.
yeah,
Like, yeah, why
yeah,
would you do that? You don't need that.
yeah,
I want to talk about Norrington, and that relationship with Elizabeth. How
yeah.
I didn't even realize, I remember the opening scene of the movie where they're on the ship. I didn't realize Norrington was there for
I
that.
didn't either.
And
Yeah.
I was like, when I saw him in the beginning, I was like, no, wait, like, is that for real? She's just a little girl. Like, she's like 10, 12, maybe 13. I
I
don't know, around there.
I wanna hope with everything in my soul that Norrington was maybe, like, 20 and then was just like,
He had to
"You're a
be.
child, stay away." Not like he was, like, 40 and then she hit, like, 18 and then he was like, "Okay."
I'm sure
Like,
he
you
was,
get
like, on the younger end of the
I
fleet,
hope.
but you had to be enlisted, and I doubt there was, like, an 18-year-old rule at that
Yeah,
time, right, to get in there, so maybe,
yeah,
let's say, optimistically, in the beginning of the movie, he was, like, 17, like, maybe
hopefully,
18, and
hopefully.
then, there's, like, a 5 to 6 year gap. It's less weird when you think of it that way, but I'm trying not to read too much into it, but it was weird that he was just like, "I've seen you grow up into a beautiful woman," and I'm like, if I've seen anybody grow up, I don't have those thoughts. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
that's weird. But again,
yeah.
what year are we talking? 1600s, maybe that's, obviously different times, but
Well, they were
weird.
getting married at, like, 12 in the 1600s, so
Yeah. So, I
the
guess less
life
weird.
expectancy was, like, 50.
Dang, that's sad.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
that
crazy.
is, it's probably less than that, honestly, but yeah, that's
Um,
insane.
wigs atrocious in this movie, but they're atrocious in, like, every movie, like, every time period, they just look terrible.
Which one specifically? Are you talking about the dad? Because I feel like
The
those are
Yes,
like
the
that's
dad,
I feel like
yes, the
that was
curls.
done almost in jest. Like, they were
It
like, "Let's
had
give
to.
him like the George Washington, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just over the top." Like, no one's hair would be like that, even if you could grow it out. That's strange.
You brought him up. Norrington, by the end of this movie, surprisingly good guy.
Pretty chill
Um
dude, bro. Pretty
Like, he
chill.
just like, if you look at this movie without the main characters in mind, so ignore Will, ignore Elizabeth, ignore, Jack. He's just a cop doing his job, essentially. Like, he's just trying to keep his people safe, but because we're on the side of Jack and the side of Will, we're like, "Ah, he's the bad guy." But you literally take none of his actions were done really out of spite. He wasn't, like, out to get Will or out to get Jack, he was out to arrest bad guys, and he
Yeah.
never took it beyond that, where in other movies, he would add a little self-interest in it and be like, "Oh, you love Elizabeth? Well, I'm gonna kill you when no one's watching." There was none of that. It was just, "I love Elizabeth too, I'm trying to get her back, I don't care what you have to say."
But
And
he
that
was
was
trying to
it.
do it by the law. You're right. I get it. That's 100% right. And I at no point did I like hate the guy, but
Yeah,
he was like the opposition. He was
yeah,
positioned as the opposition, and you're like, can you just like get out of the way, bro? Like, can you just like maybe waver a little bit? And they allude to that at the end where they're like, maybe a little piracy is warranted here. Like, I don't
yeah.
know. And he gives him a
He
little head start. Like, I feel like that's a tip of the like, okay, I kind of have some respect for him, but please get the hell out of the way. You're not right for her, Norrington.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
And to like I know we said we weren't gonna get too deep into it, but I feel like the other lawmen in 3 when that comes back up, mu I don't remember them specifically, but in my mind, they were much more unlikable. Like, those, they were self-interested,
Mhm.
and they were, like, the a-hole, where this guy was just a guy being a guy.
Yeah. I respect Norrington. I get it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we no one wanted him there. I
You
mean,
know
let's
who
be
I don't
honest.
respect?
Who's that?
Freaking Elizabeth's dad. Like, every chance he could get to throw someone under a bus, he was doing it. They were like, "Oh, well, Jack saved my daughter. Well, too bad he's a pirate. We gotta hang him." And then, like,
He's
Will
just a
did
product of
something.
his generation.
Yeah, but, like,
Just
where Norrington just kinda seemed like he was trying to be a nice guy, her dad was just, like, whatever fit his need. I disliked him more than I disliked Norrington, I think, by the end.
Yeah, I think yeah, because there's a with at least with Norrington, there's a little nobility. You're like, okay, I understand what you're going for. You have a job. You're trying to protect your people. You get it. The other guy is like he's just the figurehead, like leader guy,
Yes.
like, and he's just like a joke. He was like comedic relief when he's like stumbling around with that arm and like doing all this other stuff. He just like he's just like a bumbling. I don't know. You definitely didn't respect him,
Not at
obviously,
all.
but he
Not at all.
was he was the higher power in this movie, which is a weird juxtaposition where you're like, "Come on, pirates, take them down." Like, it's like you had if everybody was respected on that side, you'd be like, "Okay, I kind of see the argument. Let's get out of the way." Like, it's
Yeah.
okay. This kind of opens it up to kind of laugh at the serious people a little bit. So that I think that's okay. There was one scene where I believe it's when Will and Jack Sparrow are escaping the town and like trying to find a boat and like they're sneaking out. When just the upside down canoe underwater.
Yeah.
Try that, please. Try that in real life and tell me how that goes for you.
I to reach the bottom of the ocean
And
or the
walk?
water, not working. But to like drift and float, it to some degree, a
Oh.
very, very small degree, I feel like this could work a little bit.
I feel like if they each weighed like 5 hundo, maybe.
Yes. Oh,
Like,
yes, 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 yes.
but I
What they
couldn't. Oh,
yes.
fascinating. But
It's like what next time you're doing a bath with your daughter, take like a small box and like put it in and then see if you put your finger in it if there's air or something. Or if you have a clear box, get a clear box
mhm,
and
mhm.
put it in and see how much air stays in it.
I mean, I've taken. We used to have a pool when I was a kid, and probably
Yeah.
around this time when this
Mhm.
movie came out, the amount of weird stuff I've taken to the bottom of a pool will blow your mind. I've done everything, like chairs, like the box, like you said, boxes, totes, literally anything I could find that wouldn't be completely ruined if gotten soaked. I've
Yeah.
taken underwater, and you can't pull a
Yeah, you
tote
can't. You
upside
can't.
down.
You can't.
You can't bring it down there. So I was like, this
No.
is bull crap. And I was like, I get it. I
It
shouldn't
was
be hung up
hilarious. It
on
was
this.
hilarious.
It is
Yeah.
hilarious, and it's funny that they were able to pull it off in this fantasy land.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was like, this is insane. But yeah,
Well,
it's a story.
it's showing you Jack's genius though. Like this whole time you see Jack is this madman, like this very eccentric. He's almost like a modern day Mr. Bean or who's or Detective Crusoe, the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Like where he's just bumbling and doing things and messing up and winning. Like failing spectacularly. And I think that's part of it is just like his ideas are just he thinks like no one else, and that's why he's succeeding.
And that's why it's why you like him, because you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy just keeps doing dumb stuff, and you're like, wait, maybe in my life I could just keep messing up. And probably not. You won't win like him,
No, no, no,
but you
no,
can
no.
dream. And yeah, I think it's like a superpower, honestly, in this movie for him,
It
where
is.
he definitely does, and I can relate to this, and not to say I'm a pirate, but I might be. Uh, where you kind of put off something that you're not. You know what I mean? Like you put off like you're a bumbling idiot. Like I'll be the butt of a joke. I'll make fun of myself. I'll do I'll put
Mhm.
that yeah, I'll be that target for people if they need it. Like I don't even care. But I mean, I know what's going on. Like you kind of still know what's going on. I feel like that's the case with him where he's like what he's doing is like an art form. Where it's like he's like kind of
Yes.
acting like a bumbling idiot, but he's still getting out of it. So you kind of are like and Norrington alludes to this sometimes during the film where he's like, damn, he's like actually, he might actually be a pretty good pirate. Like he's
Yeah.
kind of pulling
Well,
these things off.
I wanted to ask you, so Norrington at one point says that's the worst pirate I've ever seen, and then 35 seconds later, his second in command's like, "That's the greatest pirate I've ever seen."
Yeah.
What is he? What is he, Justin?
Doesn't he like literally Norrington said he might be, or it appears so, or something like
Yeah,
that. He literally agrees to it.
but what do you,
I mean,
JRD,
I
think?
mean, I would think, yeah. I mean, out of all the pirates I've experienced in my entire life, best pirate I've
Mhm.
ever seen.
You know, we're in the land of Blackbeard.
Is that I don't even care. I got Captain Jack Sparrow. What do you mean? There's nothing
No, I
else.
just mean no. Where we live is the home of Blackbeard.
Oh, I did not know that. What can
Oh,
you? No, where do you find that at?
oh, it's all over the place. If you see anything that has Edward Teach around, that's it's a Blackbeard themed place.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Maybe I'm missing my calling. Maybe there is like a little pirate in me. You know, I could probably get out there and see if I could sail. This guy, this complexion, like I'm definitely a pirate. I'm like
yeah.
some
You would last a whole day on the deck.
like please put me to the brig. Yeah, I'd be a lobster out there.
Yeah.
One other thing, the one of the most ruthless parts of the movie, and I know we did just mention that Norrington we're kind of like, okay, we get it, and we have a little bit of respect for him because he shows it back at the end where he's like, I'm a person, like I get it, go do your thing. He takes the L basically, respectfully.
Yeah.
There's a moment that's absolutely ruthless where Elizabeth is on the ship and her man is in the cave and she just pulls this guy's strings and it's so ruthless. She's like, I'll marry you. I'll do anything. I'll marry
Yeah.
you to get this guy back. He's got to know what's
Yeah.
happening. And like if he's as good as I think he is, like they do kind of portray him at the end there, he just does it for her, and he kind of probably knows that it's not actually going to happen for him. But that's so ruthless that she would go to that.
At that point, I don't think Norrington saw that Will wanted to save Elizabeth. I don't think he thought Will loved her because everyone thought Will was just being dutiful. Because this is a time where like pride is kind of a thing. I think all of them dumbly and stupidly just thought Will was just being like her friend,
Right.
or
And
not
it
even
is,
her friend, but her subordinate or
and
something.
you don't get anything except for one interaction
Hmm.
between them, and you're supposed to read into that. We're like, are they hanging out? It doesn't seem like it by the interaction that you get where she's leaving the house. You're like, it just kind of seems like they're just cordial with each other, but they're the same
Yeah.
age, and maybe that's enough in 1650. I don't know. Maybe that's courting. I don't know. I don't know what exactly the game is there, but yeah, I don't know.
So based on every period piece I've seen, in order to marry someone, you have to be roughly the same age, and you have to see each other at least once a day in passing glances for like 4 years and never say anything to each other except like hi, and maybe brush up against each other once, and then that's it. You guys are betrothed. That's
I
it.
could imagine like throughout the day, yes, yeah. Will's like in doing his blacksmith thing, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's 4 o'clock. I have to go get my extended eye contact with Elizabeth today." And he
Yeah, and
runs
that's
out and
it.
is like, "Elizabeth, oh, that's good.
That's
All right,
it.
I'll see you
That's
again
it.
tomorrow." And then that's
That's it.
that's relationship building, I guess, and good for them. It worked. I mean, they're
Yep.
beautiful people. They're gonna have amazing kids. It's gonna be awesome.
It's just funny though because we bring that up, and it's a weird trope that I see in a lot of books and movies where like people who showed no type of sexual chemistry whatsoever, but they spent like 2 months together in the book, and then they end up dating, even though there was nothing hinted at it at all. It's just like, oh, we've been in proximity for 2 months. That's it. We're
Are you
done.
the main character male and the main character female?
That's it.
I guess I'll see you at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And then aside from that, one other scene that I remember obviously seeing when I was a kid and being like, this is crazy. I was probably a little more scared back then, but the scene where they leave the cave, the
Mhm.
pirates leave the cave to go out there, and they're like told to go out on the boats and like the ambush.
Mhm.
That scene where there's skeletons on the bottom of the ocean is badass. I was like,
Dude,
this is one of the
sick.
coolest scenes where they're just walking on the bottom as skeletons, and they really, like you said, they could have cut a lot of it. That
Yeah.
could have been a shorter scene, but they held it because they're like, dude,
We
our
got
CGI
something.
people are crushing life right now. This is
For
insane.
for 2003, this is sick CGI. They really liked abusing underwater scenes in this.
Mhm.
Like they had the canoe scene, and then they had this like underwater transport as a secret thing was never bigger than it was in 2003.
Yeah, there's a lot of underwater play. Like when he gets his throw, like his pistol and sword thrown. When she falls, he falls. Like literally, everything's there. Anytime they can put a camera underwater, they're like, "This is pirate. This is what pirate life is. It's
Yeah.
underwater."
Yeah.
Which again, the second one is almost exclusively underwater. So yeah, it's like all over the place. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely see the diving into that. Anything else from this one before we get into the props? Which honestly, my list ain't that long. It's kind of
My
crazy.
I got a decent amount of stuff.
All right.
I was Barbosa surprisingly honorable for a guy without honor. He played that whole Wishmaster genie thing where he was just like, "All right, I'll give you exactly what you say, but if you don't word it right, I'm giving
Mhm.
you what I want out of what you say." So it was one of those, but he was sticking to the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law, but he tried to keep some honor.
Yeah, he wasn't completely unlikable. He obviously
Yeah.
was the bad guy technically, but in
Mhm.
reality, what he's trying to do isn't really bad. He's literally
No.
just trying to get his life back and his crew's life back, right? And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, the second he gets it, he dies. It's like already over for him. It's done. Which, by the way,
I
the timing of that
Yeah,
still
we'll
didn't
talk
make
about
any
that.
sense for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was I want yeah,
It just
I
okay.
agree with you.
For people who don't remember. I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was the Will standing over the chest with the coin, blood, coin in, shot immediately. It was shot, Will saying a little one-liner zinger after Barbosa says that's how you use your shot. Then he drops it. Then he becomes human and then dies.
So my thought is the hole's there, the wound is there, it didn't heal up. So then he became human with a hole in his stomach.
So
Chest,
at no
over the
point ever,
heart.
he was being stabbed. Things were being put in these people.
Yeah, but they were healing up. They healed up pretty quick.
Oh,
But
okay. I mean, I
then
don't know if I didn't know if they had like Wolverine healing factor or something. I don't know.
I'm assuming so. So I'm assuming that was this is headcanon, man. I'm
I
making
love
it
it.
up
I
as
mean,
I
it's
go.
working.
But I'm assuming that he shot him. He was within that healing window. He became human. He didn't have a chance to heal, and then he died.
I do actually see an email that just came to our account. If you want to send an email to us, moviepropcast@gmail.com. I don't know why you'd want to send an email to us, but feel free.
Please do.
It looks like the team for Pirates of the Caribbean 7's hiring you for your your brain power there.
Dude,
Just
I would
kind of
crush it.
making that happen. Okay,
I would
no
crush it.
joke. I would like one of my dreams is just sitting on a writer's room for literally
100%.
I just want to sit in and maybe toss some. Dude, if any, I could chuck ideas all day. I'll throw some poop at the wall. Like,
because I watch movies and I'm like, all right, there's no way all of these ideas came from one person, and it's interesting to see things that don't fit into the plot, like funny thing, like the canoe under the water scene.
Yeah,
like who tossed that out? Because give them a raise. That was hilarious.
They're like Johnson, that's ridiculous. I love it. Throw it in the movie. Like, it makes no sense. Just do it. Yeah.
You just sounded like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that's it. That was what I was going for. Yeah, just the boss. That's it. Just the gritty boss. Are you ready to get into this?
Hit it.
Hit it. Okay, don't say hit it because now I got to stall because I didn't have the horn ready. But now I'll do it.
Then why would you ask me the question?
I'm embarrassed. Okay, you caught me. Caught me with the pants down. But not really though. Because if you go to our YouTube channel, if you're not watching this, you can see. Actually, we may not be wearing pants.
I was gonna say I didn't know where you're
mind.
getting at because you really could not be wearing pants right now.
Maybe I'm not wearing pants.
You
never
might not
know.
be.
So if you want to come see what we look like facially when we have no pants on or pants off,
you have to pay extra to see our full bodies, though.
Yeah, that's going to be some Patreon payments or something. Okay, so we're going to get into the draft now.
I'm just thinking of us standing up doing the podcast for no reason, like just
waist down. Like if I stood up right now, it's just the crotch. That's all you'd see.
I meant full body. I didn't even mean that. That's a funnier idea.
So honestly, when you said that, I was like, do I just stand up now and just show the world that I am wearing pants? Because they're just gonna get the crotch. That's it.
No, we're gonna get a whole different type of audience if we do that. I don't want that.
Is there
I
a
was
movie
thinking
that
full
would make
bodies.
sense to do? But yeah, full body. Yeah, that'd be so weird though. I feel like if I zoomed out far enough because we're cropped in. People are listening to this on audio. I'm sorry. Just head over and you can see what we're doing here. It's literally just our faces. We're cute, kind of. I feel like for our age. Like
sorry, I zoned out because you said if there's a movie that fits that, and I'm trying to find a movie in my mind.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I was thinking of something that's like exclusively about pants or something.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling.
Traveling Pants. Yes, it popped in my
We're definitely not watching that movie and doing a podcast on
we
that.
We definitely weren't watching freaking The Notebook.
Okay, damn, that was a banger. All right.
It was.
And honestly, we're about due for a little rom-commy. And honestly, we're about not commie, but we're about due for a holiday special too. So we do need to get that rolling. We have to take some requests. Maybe you have something loaded up, but we'll do our yearly holiday special as well.
This oddly can double up as a holiday movie. Well, a seasonal movie, if you catch my drift.
Which one?
This one we're doing right now. This is a very, very, very high outfit for Halloween.
Costume. Oh, you're saying, I see what you're saying for Halloween. I thought you were talking Christmas, and I was like, I don't remember them celebrating Christmas in this one.
No, Halloween.
Yeah. What's a pirate Christmas look like? We should probably get to this draft. We are
Let's go.
Cooking here. Okay. So, all right. It's getting late. It is getting late, folks. I apologize. Okay, so let's get into this. I think 3 is sufficient. I think 3 is good for this. So we're each going to pick 3 props. We'll go back and forth, kind of a fantasy football style draft of the props from this film. And as I'm saying this, I know I have the first pick. I didn't
Yeah.
rank these. I
I
didn't
didn't
rank
rank
them
mine.
ahead of
I
time.
didn't
So
rank
we
mine
are
either.
just shooting from the hip, as a pirate would.
Would
All right.
they? They don't have bullets like that. I don't think they would
Jack
hip
Sparrow's got
fire.
one bullet, and he put it
One
right
bullet.
in Barbossa's
I mean,
heart.
to be fair, all of them have one bullet. Those guns didn't have clips. So
Okay. All right. Listen.
I'm just
Right.
saying.
I didn't ask Jeeves. All right. Can you get out of here? All right. Let me have my thing. I wasn't knocking you trying to justify
No,
the bullet into the guy's
it's just
chest.
well, I find it funny that they really emphasized that he gave him a gun with one bullet. Like, yes, he could have given him extra bullets in a
Right.
sack, but all of their guns carried one bullet. And
Right. I mean, it's cool that they did kind of hammer that, and that it was the one bullet that really kind of took him out. So
yeah,
that was a cool little callback. I respected that. That being said, do I pick his gun here? Is that something that I do?
you could.
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I don't think I do. For me, and it might have even actually been the first thing I wrote down on my list.
Probably the first thing I wrote
this
down.
is the first thing I wrote down. I think I got to take Will Turner's Aztec pirate coin necklace.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
literally the poster of the movie with the little blood on it. Like
yep,
it's the reason all this is happening with the Black Pearl.
yep.
It ties right into the curse. I feel like it's a no-brainer. I got to pick that. As much as I would love to have something that is actually Jack Sparrow's possession, it's not.
Mhm.
This isn't even his, which is weird.
But when you remember this movie, you think of the medallion.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I'll probably get something off of Jack Sparrow later.
So, do you want the opening credit medallion, or do you want because when I was watching this, I was like, "Damn, that medallion looks cool." And then later on, they had the medallion that had the blood smeared on it, and I was like, "Damn, that
It's
looks
probably
cool."
got to be the one with the blood, but I mean, like canonically in the
Yeah,
film, it's
yeah,
got to be. It's the same coin technically. So
it
yeah,
is.
just give me
But
the dirty one. I want the
we
dirty
know
one.
after talking to our
Yeah.
friend Miss Fink that there's definitely multiple of those.
Heidi Nazarfink, you can go back. It was actually, I think, the only interview we did for this
Yes,
podcast. Men in Black. She made a lot of props, a lot of Will Smith movie
a
props.
lot of Will Smith
So you can
movies.
go
Yeah.
back, scroll back into the archives, and listen to that one if you want to. You're up, sir, with the second pick in the draft.
So you took something from Will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take something from Jack. I'm going to take the compass.
I'm literally looking at that, and I'm like, he's not going to pick that. Like, it's like, okay.
I'm going to take
All
the
right.
compass that doesn't point north specifically.
Where is it pointing? You
If
might
it
find
does,
that out later. I don't know.
yeah. So I'm going to take the compass.
No, that's a
I
good one.
like
It's
it.
obviously important to him, but yeah, that's a solid pick. I can't knock that too much. But that
Yeah.
I feel like does leave a good amount of stuff from Jack Sparrow that I can take here.
You could take a bunch from Jack Sparrow. There's a lot from him in this.
I think we're going to be stripping him down, honestly.
More or less. More or
Yeah.
less.
I think
I
I
mean,
have to take his hat. I'm just going to take his hat.
you're not going to take the whole outfit?
No, I don't think. I think you can kind of piece out the hat. That's to
no.
me, a hat is an accessory. The
Okay.
sword is an accessory. The gun is an accessory to me.
Yeah.
If you want like shirt, jacket, pants, I think that's a wardrobe that you
Bandana.
could take. But I feel like the hat is like it's off of him. It's given back to him. Like it's moved around enough.
He talks about it specifically
It's
too.
literally kind of like his
Yeah.
prized possession, really, at this point. I mean, other than the compass, which actually is significant. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Jack Sparrow's hat.
Okay.
And that's it. I feel like that's a pretty solid little pick there to follow up the first one.
So then if I ask for his outfit, would that be like pants, shirt, bandana?
Sure. Yeah, because that's on his. I feel like that's always on him, right? That's part
is.
of his outfit. So yes, you could take the friggin' wig too. Take it all.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I get the beard? The beard
No,
with the
I think
janglers?
that's part of him. No, I guess it's like
I don't think that's really his beard.
no. I'm sure.
Oh,
there's
you
like
mean
some
you mean
extent.
you mean you mean as a character. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll take Jack Sparrow's outfit.
Yeah.
I want that.
Okay.
That
All right.
was I'm leaving a lot of stuff up there for you.
So here's the deal about his outfit, though. It's like I feel like I remember it being more iconic, but I was looking at it, like really trying to find like something on it that I was like, this is cool. I mean, I like the bandana with the like the little danglies and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
I just remember it. I thought he had like a real grand
No.
thing.
You might be thinking of two.
I
I
might
think
be.
in 2 at some point, I'm not gonna say what, but at some point something happened, and
We
you
should
might be
literally
thinking
just
of that.
do for the next 2-3 months only Pirates of the
Only
No
Pirates of
one,
the Caribbean?
yeah,
Yeah.
no one would ever listen to it. Going on like the 4th and 5th one.
Honestly, I think they wouldn't mind.
They're like, "Oh my god, you never believe what happened. The movie Propcast just turned into literally only Pirates of the Caribbean.
We
Everybody
just
asked for this."
deep dive, and we just do 1 episode, like 3 episodes per movie.
Oh my goodness. That
That'd
would
be
be
great.
crazy. That would be crazy. Is this really the one we'd want to do it on? Honestly, like, I mean, not to say this isn't an iconic film, but it's not all-time top of the list iconic.
Oh,
Like,
you
what?
mean like Jurassic Park?
Shut up, man. Shut up. Inside joke about Jurassic Park is obviously it's my favorite movie of all time, and we just keep not doing that podcast. We just keep not doing that episode because I think if I just hold it for the right time, something
I'm
insane is gonna happen. It's all
one
gonna come together.
I don't know if The Matrix is my all-time favorite movie, but I'm pretty sure it's up there, and that was our very first movie.
I just said, screw your dreams. No, we didn't even really have that conversation. I think you did mention it. It's up there for me too. Like it is one of my favorites, and I do think I do want to keep doing movies that are. I keep calling them bangers, right? So like they're just like obviously the big blockbuster films, and that's kind of why we're doing this one. But I am holding that one in the chamber. So if anybody's listening and they're like, just do the dinosaur movie,
Yeah.
not yet. All right. When it happens, there's going to be something else with it. And I don't
We
know
s
what it is. It's either going to
It's
be a
gonna be
guest
us in person at
at
Disney.
Isla Nublar. It's like we're going to be on
Yeah,
the
we're
island. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out down the line. But yeah,
with Chris Pratt from your
no.
favorite trilogy.
Okay. All right. See, now you lost me there.
Alright, sorry. I
Jesus.
hit a low blow, I
It's
apologize.
you know what, and now we're on it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if anybody who is a Jurassic Park fan and has seen all the movies that they have put out, including the World's trilogy, you know what I'm talking about when I say you could have the first movie be your favorite movie of all time, and the last movie is honestly damn near my least favorite movie of all time. So yeah, the Jurassic World Dominion movie was literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen of all time, and I don't really want to speak on it anymore. We should just get back into the draft. So let's finish these last 2 picks. You just got done picking Jack Sparrow's outfit. I think. Am I just gonna go double hat? Should I just keep picking hats? Is that really what I want to do here?
If you wanna be that guy.
No,
I
I'm gonna take
I
Jack Sparrow's sword. I'll take any sword used by Jack Sparrow. What's weird is like in the beginning of the movie, you
Yeah,
see he's got like a dagger, right?
yeah,
He's got like a little dagger. I don't
yeah,
really see a sword that he's using.
yeah.
But when he's on the ship getting kicked off on the you having to walk the plank like you have to do in every that's like a mandatory pirate film movie like move.
Yeah.
He's got a sword and a gun. I know the gun is iconic, but I just want a sword. You know,
That's
the
fair.
gun obviously did
I'm
the
sur
business,
Mhm.
but I want a sword. I think a pirate and a sword is like that's synonymous. So I'm
So
gonna take Jack Sparrow's sword.
you don't take the sword that Will made for Norrington?
No, I don't care about that sword in any way.
Really?
But if you do, by all means, you're up. Take it. Go for it.
Well, you left me with really a lot of choices, and now I'm a little flabbergasted, actually. Um, I just I feel like I won. No,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
maybe
I'm
that's
joking.
one
No,
way
no,
to
no, I'm
feel.
kidding.
That's one
I'm
way to
kidding.
feel.
No, because there's a couple of things, and I hate this. What would I like more? So we have to discuss something.
Okay. You trying to already weasel something? What are you trying to weasel?
No, because I looked up whether what I want to pick was actually real, and I read that it actually was real,
You're
at least
not taking
half
this
real.
whole ship, are you? You're not taking the whole ship, are you?
I mean,
Are you serious? I mean, honestly, like, sure. I just wasn't gonna go there. I don't
would
know.
would he? Why not?
It's just too damn big, man. I don't know.
In an infinite space, for the first like 5 of these, you harped on how we have an infinite
I
amount
know.
of
And that's
space.
why you have 97 cars in
I
your
have I have a diesel. Yeah, I could drive a different car every day of the week.
yeah. If you want to take the Black Pearl, I mean, it's a good pick, and it was honestly overlooked by me. But I'm more of a character focused person and less more of like a mobility type, like an
Yeah,
automobile slash, transportation guy. Um,
yeah. I
but yeah,
think
do it. Take it. Say you want the
it's
whole
it's
Black Pearl.
it's literally it's what it was the driving force of the movie.
That's the
Jack
name
didn't
of the
care
movie.
about he didn't care about anything but the Black Pearl. Who am I not to take it?
At the very least, you're ripping the steering wheel off of it, right? Like, I mean, at the
Oh,
if you,
no, no,
yeah,
no. If you said no, I was taking the Jolly Roger. I was taking the flag. Like
okay,
that was the very first thing they show of the ship really was the flag
yeah,
blowing in the wind. And I feel like it's the background. Like I think the skull from Pirates of the Caribbean, I think that's the skull on the Jolly Roger.
yeah.
So if
I
you
think it
didn't
might
let
be.
me take the boat, I was
I mean, I'm a generous
realistically,
guy. I'm really generous.
if you didn't let me take the boat, I was taking Jack's gun. And
Okay.
then I really would have really wanted the flag.
I am curious. I probably should have done a little more research. Was the boat like actually? I'm sure they did have like a boat created for this, like a ship.
In my research, they had a set built on a barge, so it's just like a really long flat boat, and they built a set on top of it to film from. And
Okay.
then in movie 2, they had a legitimate boat called the Sunset that they made look like the Black Pearl.
Okay.
But they also say they had a real boat for movie 1 also, so that's why I was confused.
Just take the
So
damn boat, man. It's
all
yours.
right.
It's
So
yours.
yeah,
But you
so
got to
the
take
sun
me out on the weekends though for a nice
I
stroll.
will I will take you
But I'm
out
not
on
going to
the
work
weekend.
for it. I'm not going to pull any ropes or anything. You got to like have a crew for that. I just want to sunbathe on the poop deck.
You just wanted to say poop deck. That whole sentence was a vehicle for you to say poop deck at least once in this podcast.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I
I
had
just
to
can't believe
say,
it took you 50 some odd
yeah.
minutes to say poop deck.
I mean, we're here. Poop,
I'm
poopity poop,
actually
poop deck.
impressed.
Yeah,
I'm
I
impressed.
listen. I'm a professional. I like to do this and try to be respectful. But yes, poop deck, poop. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a great time. Okay, so to recap the draft, I took the Will Turner Aztec bloodied pirate booty coin. Booty didn't say booty, just said booty. Booty. You took the Jack Sparrow compass, which is pretty solid, honestly. There were some subtle hints of what's going on with that thing, and then at the end of the film, it's the last thing you see was him holding up that compass. It's a pretty solid pick. I'll give it to you. I took Jack Sparrow's hat. It's his baby. I feel like he loves it like a son. And you took Jack Sparrow's entire wardrobe, which, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's it. That's you get that, but you're not. I'm not giving you the hat though, so it's not really
You
gonna
don't
make.
have to.
It's not gonna be as cool, but yeah, it's yours. I took Jack Sparrow's sword,
Yep.
and then you took an entire ship.
I took the boat.
The Black Pearl in its entirety is just gonna
Yeah.
be sitting in your infinite warehouse display room of movie props.
Hey, just answer me this. In this poster right here,
Yeah.
where's Jack's hat?
All right, bro. Chill. So he's not wearing the hat in the poster. You're right. It's the bandanas that got a little more color on it. Sure. But in the film, you get it. I mean, you get it. People,
I
you
get
get it.
no. It is a very solid pick.
All right. I think that will wrap this one up. You will be picking the next film, and I'm excited to see where you're going for it. I'm not going to make you tease it or say anything about it right now because I know you like
I
to overthink
couldn't.
these like I do. No?
I couldn't tease it if I wanted to. 'Cause
Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right. So we'll be
um,
back at it again, probably on a more steady cadence than we have been. We've been a little sloppy. All right, we've been sipping the old rum on the
we got at
on
least
the island.
one death threat. Yeah,
We're getting death threats. It's insane. And when I say death threats, I mean just like gentle nudgings from fans. But we appreciate that. That means a lot to us. That lets us know that you maybe want to listen to some more of these. So you might be the one person that would send an email to us at moviepropcast@gmail.com. So throw us an email if you got a movie suggestion. Find us on social media. We literally have social media all over the place. Maybe we're not posting as much as we should, but damn it, that doesn't mean you can't say hello to us. All right, we're human beings on the other side.
it's tough
At
to
Movie
have a nine
Propcast.
to five and do this.
Yeah, maybe someday this will be our 9 to 5.
That would be sick.
I'd love, dude. I just want to make podcasts and make.
I just want to make
all I ever do.
stuff. Like it doesn't even have to be. I just want to create stuff and get paid to create stuff.
If you'd like to pay us to create stuff,
I'd
moviepropcast at
make some
gmail.com. It's the email you want to send it to. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you on the next one. And our matey booty poop deck. Have a good one. Love you.
I love you guys. I'm sorry. I apologize.